Myka Stauffer really blurred the line between family vlogging and posting disturbing contents for profit. From announcing their intention to adopt Huxley from China,
Jim and I have decided that we're gonna adopt from China,
to responding to backlashes about rehoming him, the Stauffers tried to explain why they had to transfer Huxley to another home, but it was met with massive criticisms, as they never treated him properly.
I want to fill you in what's going on. What? Like, do I feel like a failure as a mom? Like 500%?
Same child whom they built their brand around by documenting the adoption process ended up causing them a wave of hatred from their fans. To understand why Myka Stauffer might be considered one of the worst family channels, we have to go back to before Huxley ever entered the picture. Before the adoption, Myka and her husband James Stauffer were already established family vloggers based in Ohio. They ran multiple channels where they created classic family contents like homeschool days, morning routines, or even product sponsorships woven into everyday parenting.
That'd be rude. And I was like, I really don't think this guy's gonna be for me because he just rambles and I'm already bored of him on the phone. He just won't stop talking.
And in those times, they made sure that their children, Kova, Jaka, Radley, and Onyx, appeared constantly on screen with them, all in the name of vlogging their family activities.
You need to control your thoughts and control the direction of your life. What does that mean to control your thoughts? What does that mean? You don't know.
At first glance, they didn't look extreme compared to some infamous family vloggers like the Daddy05, who was notorious for humiliating their kids on screen just to get views.
No!
Just a prank, bruh!
Wow! Get out!
No!
Go!
No!
But then, the pattern was there, as private childhood moments were public entertainment. Educational struggles and personal growth became content and rage for engagement.
It's fine. 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 You're not able to do anyway. Just kidding. You'll get him in a second.
While we talk about these family vlogging moments, it's important to note that Myka wasn't new to internet validation.
I want to be encouraging. I want to be uplifting to you. Like, that's the reason I started my YouTube channel, is to be a positive space and be an uplifting space for you to come and get inspired when you're feeling like you're struggling.
Even before her marriage, she was posting detailed lifestyle content, including extreme weight loss challenges and bikini progress videos.
The bikini shots after are gonna be unbelievable. Just wait.
With this early exposure to the internet kind of life, it was obvious that she didn't just want to be a mom. She wanted to be a visible, monetized, and an admired mom that could do anything to get what she wanted. And triggering people's emotions with a vulnerable adopted child seemed to give her what she wanted. In 2016, Myka and James announced they were adopting a child from China.
Jim and I have decided that
We're gonna
adopt from China. We are going to be adopting a little boy from China. We haven't officially formally started the process yet, and we do plan on taking y'all with us through the journey and all of the steps along the way.
But here's what made it different. They didn't quietly begin the process and update viewers afterward. They announced it before it was finalized. So, Myka and James deliberately turned it into a journey and documented everything from agency meetings to the paperwork updates with emotional reactions and pleads that made them look very genuine in the eyes of the viewers. They even set a fundraiser to help out with the bills.
First thing I want to fill you in on is we are doing a little fundraiser for little Huxley.
And to make the process very creative, they created a 1,000-piece puzzle, with each piece costing $5. According to Myka and James, the face of their adopted son would be revealed the moment the puzzle was complete. So every time someone donated, they would place another piece. However, as creative as this seemed, they used the innocent boy, Huxley, to make money with the guise of adopting him to take care of him. As if that wasn't enough, they also launched a GoFundMe campaign. Of course, anyone could say that international adoptions are expensive, which it is, because they can cost anywhere between $25,000 and $60,000. But here's the key difference. Most families fundraise privately, and the Stauffers did it publicly. So, while simultaneously earning ad revenue from hundreds of thousands of views documenting the process, the adoption wasn't just personal, it was profitable. When they finally traveled to China, engagement skyrocketed. Their son, Huxley, became the emotional centerpiece of the channel. The Gotcha Day video gained millions of views, and from that moment forward, the camera never really left him. However, observing the videos they posted, it was obvious that Huxley had special needs. Eventually, he was diagnosed with autism, which showed that he had sensory challenges, communication delays, and likely trauma from institutional care.
And we love our son so much, like we want the best for him. And I'm not saying autism is sad or a bad diagnosis, but just like everything like kind of just compounded down together, and it was hard.
And instead of reducing exposure to protect him from the internet, they saw it as a ground to earn more followers and views that could increase their earnings. They created content about his struggles. These videos consistently outperformed the rest. Because the more vulnerable the content looked, the higher the views. There were even incidents that deeply disturbed viewers, and one of them involved his food anxiety. Huxley reportedly struggled around meals, which is common for children with trauma or autism-related sensory issues. Instead of quietly working with specialists, a video showed him placed in timeout over food distress, which immediately had people backlashing their attitude.
As much food as he wants. It's more principle. It's about we don't just throw fits to get our way, so we're trying to work through that.
Another controversy involved thumb sucking, which was a common self-soothing behavior in autistic children. In one clip, his hand appeared bound in duct tape to stop the behavior. The clip was later trimmed and re-uploaded shorter.
It's a silly boy, huh?
But the internet doesn't forget, as viewers began asking questions like, why was a child with trauma being disciplined on camera? Why were his meltdowns public? Why were sponsored posts featuring him discussing his challenges? And perhaps most haunting of all, this family treated Huxley like he was just there to make them money. With this continual absurd behavior towards the innocent child, something gradually changed right before the viewer's eyes. Huxley began appearing less frequently, and videos featuring him quietly vanished. Trust followers to notice such change. And immediately they did. They started asking questions. In the comments section of a video posted on James's channel, which was later deleted, someone commented, "What happened to Huxley?" And James casually responded, "With a new family." That comment alone ignited a massive outrage amongst viewers because it just exposed that they took him to another home instead of properly taking care of him. Eventually, the couple posted a tearful explanation video where they claimed that after multiple evaluations, medical professionals recommended a better fit for Huxley's needs.
I want to fill you in on what's going on and what hard. Like, do I feel like a failure as a mom? Like 500%.
All of his needs. And over the last year has been a more intense therapy that he's been in to try to help him as much as possible with his severe needs. And for us, it's been really hard hearing from the medical professionals a lot of their feedback and things that have been upsetting.
But critics quickly pointed out something damning. In older videos, Myka admitted that doctors had originally discouraged the adoption, warning them about the extent of his needs.
Prognosis and everything for our son just went drastic. She kind of almost discouraged us from adopting him, like saying that this is going to be severe, this is going to be a lot.
This showed that medical concerns were ignored at the beginning, but cited at the end, all because they had intended to use Huxley for money and dump him out like an animal. The backlash was immediate as commentary channels exploded. Authorities even opened an investigation, though no charges were filed. All because rehoming, while ethically controversial, is not necessarily illegal in many states. Responding to this backlash, Myka deleted her channels. She posted a long Instagram apology in June 2020. In the post, she denied adopting for wealth and claimed that all money gotten through fundraising went toward his care. Afterwards, she disappeared from the internet. James, however, continued posting on Stauffer Garage. By this point, it looked like the internet had moved on, but the damage didn't. In 2024, HBO released a 3-part documentary titled An Update on Our Family. It explored the ethics of family vlogging.
I'm not saying that it's anyone's intention to objectify these children. It could come across that way. The truth is, this is a business.
And the Stauffer case sat at the center of it. The documentary reignited the debate. Is family vlogging harmless documentation, or is it child labor without regulation?
This mommy YouTuber was saying it's quicker to adopt a child from China.
Huxley in particular brought so much viewership to their channel.
And then 2.5 years later, he had just disappeared.
People were asking, where is Huxley?
Huxley's story became a symbol of what happens when a vulnerable child becomes a brand asset, when trauma becomes a thumbnail, and parenting becomes performance. Even before Huxley, the Stauffer children had no meaningful consent. They grew up on camera where their frustrations were content and their privacy was currency. With this, it was obvious that the adoption didn't create the problem. It only exposed it. Because when everything was easy with sponsorships, their family blogging thrived. But when parenting required sacrifice without applause, it immediately collapsed. And this attitude received a couple of backlash and comments. She practically demonized a child with autism because she didn't know how to take care of him. They are not horrible for giving him up because he deserves better than them. They are horrible for their motivation for adopting him. Can we all just agree that parents that force their kids to live in front of a camera are bad parents? So Myka Stauffer might be the worst family channel because the entire journey felt transactional. A vulnerable child's face was monetized while ignoring medical advice. And when the whole process became overwhelming, the storyline ended. That's why, years later, people still haven't forgiven them. Because when family becomes content and content becomes income, the line between love and leverage could always disappear, just like it did in Huxley's case.